Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you don't know me, my name is Jake, and the channel you're watching, 787 Dude, is about planes and aviation. And in today's video, I'm carrying on with my many part series of rating airline liveries. This is episode 3, the South American Airlines, and well, I'm kind of regretting doing the North American Airlines separately now. I should have probably all done them all together. I think the European airlines have had more combined airlines than South America and North America combined, and I didn't even do all the European ones. But anyway, here we're back. We've only got 9 airlines to rate this time, so it's going to be a pretty quick video. But otherwise, let's get into the video. Okay, so starting off, we're going to start with quite a big, influential airline of South America, which is LATAM. I think probably one of the first South American airlines that I ever knew of was LATAM, followed by Azul. So yeah, now LATAM's livery, okay, you know, I've had LATAM 787s and fly over my window going to Heathrow, you know, quite recently actually, and I look through them binoculars, so I see a LATAM livery quite frequently, and the tail is, you know, quite nice. I like the logo. The colour palette of LATAM, I think, are really nice colours, but overall, the livery, you know, it just a little bit boring. So it's not meh, it's not eyesore, but it's not. So it's just going to go room improvement. It's just that, like, you know, I really do think I should swap room and improvement and meh round. But yeah, that's where it's going to go. Now, fly Bondi, I mean, I don't know how you want to pronounce it. Now, I saw that and I thought, surely that's like some Australian, you know, like Bondi Beach or, you know. But no, it's actually South American airline. I don't know where it originates from. I literally had the facts in front of me a second ago. But anyway, now, this livery is, it's okay. I mean, it's not bad, you know, but it's not amazing. So overall, I'd probably go with, to be fair, I mean, this is what the livery looks like anyway. And to be honest, it's not the best. It's probably going to have to go, you know, like down in here, you know, like room for improvement again. BOA, okay. This is what the livery looks like, okay, and, well, it's a very small airline, and when I mean very small airline, I mean very small airline. It's not a big airline at all. It's actually it's a really small airline. So, and to be fair, the livery is not very good, to be honest. To be completely honest with you, I'm not a really big fan of it. They don't own a lot of aircraft, yeah, and so I think, to be fair, it's going to have to go in Met, and as you can see, we're not off to a very good start here, next, GOL, or GOL, or however you really want to pronounce it, to be honest, this is what the livery looks like, this is what the aircraft looks like, and, well, I don't mind it, to be honest, but, again, it's not the best. GOL kind of reminds me of a Ryanair type livery, especially on a 737. It's just shows you what the airline is, and that's about it, which is, to be fair, what most airlines do, but some airlines look a bit better than others. And again, because of, oh god, there goes the mic, and because of that, it's probably just going to have to go in room for improvement again. You know, to be fair, I don't actually think any South American airlines will get into the final of actually what is the best livery in the world, in my opinion. Next up, we have Aerolíneas Argentinas. Okay, as you can probably make out, it's an Argentinian. It's an airline from Argentina. This is what the livery looks like. And well, to be honest, when I saw the airline for the first time, it kind of reminds me of Skywings, Smart Wings, sorry. And this is what, so side by side, okay, this is what smart, I don't know why I keep on saying side wings, smart wings and Argentinian airline over here look like. Okay, this is a side by side, and as you can see, I mean, I think they look quite similar. I'm not sure about you, but yeah, I mean, they look similar to me, especially on the not 787, 737. I think they just look really similar, and because of that, you know, Smart Wings went into eyesore because it really is, and Aerolíneas Argentinas is pretty much that, just all in blue. Okay, Avianca. Now, Avianca, okay, is like a really plain, basic livery. But see, the thing is about Avianca, and I know this is probably going to be like really spark some debate, because at the same time it is like a LATAM livery, just a different colour. But I actually really like how plain, no pun intended, the livery is. I actually think with some airlines and some aircraft, some certain colours just make the aircraft look better than it would be. So this is Avianca livery. And yeah, I mean, I quite like it, to be fair. It doesn't, go into your face, like, it doesn't, like, what I'm trying to say, like, be really big in your face. It's quite just a nice, relaxed livery, and I quite like that. So it's not going to go, you can't beat it, because you can beat an Avianca livery, but it's going to go and look amazing, above LATAM. And like I said, this might be a bit of a, debate. But yeah, that's my opinion. Next, Azul, the Brazilian airline, if you couldn't tell, from the big Brazil outline. This is what the livery looks like of Azul. And I quite like it, to be fair. Azul, I think, hands down, one of the best liveries in South America. Probably in the whole of the Americas. Their basic normal livery, I think, just looks amazing. And if you can't really get the hint, that definitely means you're gonna can't beat it. Because yeah, I really do think it just looks wonderful. And because of that, yeah, it's just gonna go in there, because I think it looks great. And obviously, like I said, at the end of this series, well, at the end of all 7 continents, well, all 6 continents, because Antarctica doesn't really have an airline, and even if it does, not going to have more than 1, maybe 2, if we're lucky. So we're going to miss out Antarctica. But, compared to all the Americas, I think Azul actually have a really nice livery, and I really like their livery. And I think it's pretty much probably one of the only airlines, if the only airline, in South America that actually has special liveries. So to put it quite frankly, I don't think the South America is going to do very good in this series, with one airline at the moment reaching, can't beat it, and with, I think, one airline only having a special livery. So it's not going to get very far, but, give it a round of applause. It's, at the moment, being on top of its group, of its continent, really. Okay, next is Sky Airways, Sky Airlines. I have no idea, to be fair. There's just a Wikipedia that told me, oh yeah, this is a South American airline. So, okay, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, the K's backwards, but that's okay. And yeah, this is what the livery looks like. And to be honest, I'm not really sure about this one, because it's difficult to say. Because on one hand, like, it is just quite a nice, like, plain livery, but on another hand, it is like, it's got some colour, but I hate the tail. I really hate tails that look like that, where they've just got a white tail with just like 2/3 of it colour on it, and then the rest either side just white. Just, I don't think it looks good. And really, because of that, it's not a bad airline. I really like the colours. But to be fair, I think you're probably just gonna have to go in for room for improvement. You know, make the tail one colour, like one base colour and another colour on top. Probably go look amazing. But until you do that, yeah, you're staying there. And I'm pretty sure that's like more like a budget kind of airline. I mean, to be fair, if I was to compare all of these airlines, from airlines in Europe, Azul would be, well, LATAM would probably be like a BA. Azul probably more like a Virgin Atlantic maybe type airline. This is just really UK airlines. Avianca, I would say more like a TUI. I mean, they operate the same aircraft as TUI do. But yeah, that really does remind me of like a TUI type airline. Gold is quite a big budget airline in South America and into North America as well. So to be fair, Gold's probably more like an EasyJet. Sky's probably more like a Wizz Air, to be fair. That's how I would put it. Aerolíneas Argentinas, probably more of a Ryanair. Yeah, I mean, and BOA, Bolivian de Aviation. To be fair, it's just an airline, isn't it really? I mean, they operate like 9 aircraft, I think, so they don't really ferry a lot of passengers every day. And I bet you half those aircraft are like out of service anyway, and the other half probably leased. Anyway, moving on. JetSmart, okay? This is what the livery looks like. And, yeah, well, I mean, it's just a livery, really, at the end of the day, to be fair. Give me a... But yeah, so, and because of this, to be honest, I'm not really sure where it's going to go, because obviously we're quite shallow on the ground, and, yeah, which I'm not really sure, other than room for improvement. You know, they've only got one. And to be honest, the livery kind of reminds me of a Frontier. Like, the tail, different animals, different pictures, but it looks better than a Frontier. You know, as you probably remember, Frontier went down into, you know, I think it was either Mare or Eyesore. I probably put it on Eyesore, to be fair. It's quite a bad looking livery. And, but it looks better than a Frontier. But I don't think it's that bad for Mare, because I think it's better than that. But at the same time, I don't think room for improvement. So to be fair, I think it probably does going to look amazing, because the liveries are quite nice. They don't like pop out in your face as much as others do. They don't like really like show off. It's quite nice, relaxed livery, and I really like that actually, because some airlines, you know, just look better than others. And then yeah, so this is our table at the end. After 13 minutes, 3 of them was me just talking about random stuff, and wow, yeah, this is just great, isn't it? I mean, a video done, I guess, but yeah, I mean, this is the table. I mean, this is probably by far the smallest one. Although African Airlines as well, though, they probably have not many. I mean, I can name some: Egypt Air, Ethiopian. What else have we got? This is quite easy. Yeah, and this is embarrassing. I'm going to name 2. Just trying to think. Oh, South African Airways, or is it Airlines? Either Airways or Airlines. Sounds better with Airways, so I guess it's going to be Airways. What else? There'll probably be a couple more. So to be fair, yeah, the next 2, because we'll go to Africa next and then finish off the big ones. The next 2 will be quite small. Although what I might do is have Oceania and Africa together. Even though they're 2 completely different continents, just have them in the same video. So they'll be separated, but have them in the same video, because otherwise it'll be another video the next 2 videos will be like this, where it's like hardly any airlines. I mean, the couple airlines I can name from Oceania is Air New Zealand, Qantas, Virgin Australia, and I think there's one more that I can name off the top of my head, and that's about it. And obviously I know there's a couple other countries in Oceania, but to be fair, not off the top of my head, you ain't gonna get them. So yeah, I'll probably combine Africa and Australia, Oceania and stuff together, and then that video will be a bit longer than 15 minutes long, because it'll just make it a bit better and a bit more enjoyable when there's a couple more airlines on the board. And then after is Asia, and Asia's the big one. Asia will be a very long video because there's many countries in Asia, and I think every country probably has a good 2 airlines. So we might have to do an Asia part 2 if it gets that long, but hopefully it won't. But you also got the Middle East as well, and in the Middle East there's like every single country has an airline or 2. Obviously with UAE having, well, just that area of the Middle East having Emirates, Qatar, Etihad, Fly Dubai, Riyadh Air. You also got Saudi Arabia Airways or Airlines, whatever it is, Oman Air, and a few more. Plus, like all the other airlines from all the other Asian countries, Air China. I mean, China has 3 airlines itself. Air China, China Eastern, and China Southern. India, and there's probably another budget Indian airline. Then, what else we got? Singapore Airlines. And there's just so many more. That will take a long time, to be fair. Probably more than Europe, because that is just the airlines that literally just popped out my head, like, right there. If I was to have a bit more of a thought about it, we could probably add quite a few more. But off the top of my head, already, that's quite a lot. And because of that, we will try and fit all the Asian into one video, because then the next video will be, the head-to-head final battle between all the top scorers. And to be fair, for South American Airlines, I'll probably, looks amazing, will probably also get in there as well. And then after that, we'll do the special liveries, which will be quite cool. And then we'll also do retro liveries, because special liveries and retros, well, retro liveries are still special liveries, but, they've got a whole separate name. They fall under a whole separate bracket. And because of that, I think we should honour our retro liveries of our respected airlines, and, do a whole other video on retro liveries. I mean, you've also got BA liveries. They've got retro. American Airlines, Lufthansa, a lot of European airlines have retro liveries, because they're the airlines that have been around for many years. And BA have a couple retro liveries. They've got the one on the A319, and they also had one that they don't fly it anymore, to my knowledge, but they've also got a BOAC one, well, they used to anyway, so we'll add that in as well. But yeah, so there is quite a few retro liveries. And it won't be the longest of videos, because not every airline on the world has a retro livery. But it'd be nice to, look at the retro liveries and rate them as well. And I've seen a couple of retro liveries in my life. I've seen an American Airlines 777 retro livery. That's quite cool. Fly over my house, going to Heathrow. As you probably might be aware if you've been watching this channel for a while now, I do live on the Heathrow flight path for flights landing into 27s at Heathrow, Bournemouth Airport, Gatwick Airport. So I get loads of traffic in the morning, fly over my house and my school, which is amazing. Which means when the nice clouds are nice and clear, well, the sky is nice and clear, so I get loads of aircraft and I can spot for ages and ages. But also I get planes flying to Gatwick. I've had 777s fly over my head multiple times at like 10,000 feet. That's amazing. I've had a couple EasyJet and Ryanair flights going to Bournemouth at about 5,000 feet. Flights going to Southampton. And also I get out traffic as well. So out traffic from Gatwick I get a bit less. But out traffic from Heathrow, they're normally about 24,000 feet high, and yeah, so I can also spot those as well, although I need better binoculars to spot those, because you can make out the airline, make out the aircraft, but not good enough to actually like see details and, you know, make the aircraft out really good. Like if it's like a 320 family aircraft, you're not going to be able to tell what 320 family aircraft, where if I had better binoculars, I would, or if it was flying a bit lower and a bit closer to me, I would be able to. But otherwise, yeah, that's that, to be fair. And that's probably the end of the video, to be fair. I've just yapped on for a good, like, 9 minutes, which I think is pretty impressive, but not my record, trust me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed our rating. I mean, I actually quite enjoy rating them. I don't know why, but yeah, I quite like this series. And you may be wondering, as my final point, where my flight back from Manchester is. Now, I thought I'll get this series out the way, a couple more other videos, like my normal type videos, and then I will have the Manchester video of coming home, because I thought, you know, I'll have, as New Year special, and I'll spoil it now, will be a double flight connecting from Fort Lauderdale to Philadelphia with American Airlines on A321, hopefully it's a Neo, to then go on the British Airways Airbus A350 from Philadelphia to London Heathrow. That's when I come back off my holiday, and that's going to be the new special. And I'll also have the flight there on a British Airways Airbus A380 from London Heathrow to Miami, which I'll also have. And because of that, I was like, okay, well, maybe, because flight reviews are always quite a nice video to watch and, you know, to edit and stuff, you know, I can do that in the middle of the year, so like July, August time, and then it means that we'll have flight videos, flight reviews near the start of the year, middle of the year, and the end of the year. You know, as the last video of the year will be a flight review, and just giving that separation and a bit more, you know, because an aviation YouTube channel, obviously, I'm quite young and I can't, you know, fly to nice places, you know, every month or two, and so I thought, you know, instead of having big gaps between flight reviews, I can, you know, just save a video. I've still got all the footage. It'll take me quite a long time to scroll back and find it. But nonetheless, I've still got all of it. And you'll still have a video that you would have had just quite a few months later. So yeah. Anyway, please like and subscribe. Because subscribing is free. And you can subscribe anytime you like. And if you feel the need to unsubscribe, then you can always unsubscribe. And with the social media ban coming in, you know, it'd be nice to get to like 300 subscribers before that comes in spring 27. Whoop whoop. But it's okay, because this email is 2 years older than I actually am, so it'll make me at the time look like I'm 17 years old, which is great. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, share with all your family and friends, make more people know about the 787 Dude channel, because it's, well, just, it's a good channel, to be fair, quite frankly. You know, you learn loads of cool things. I mean, most of my friends and, you know, people that I know have learned a lot more things about planes just by watching this YouTube channel. So could your family members and your friends. And I want to thank all my subscribers so far as well for subscribing. I get new subscribers every week or so, which is really nice, lovely. The channel is growing, which is nice to see. And yeah, and like the video. And I know that you are still enjoying this series because, I mean, quite frankly, I'm not sure if it was about, you know, like how well the last video was or the amount of airlines I was reviewing, but the European airlines, they did amazing. North American Airlines, they just went downhill. I'm not sure about this video, probably going to be more downhill. Hopefully when we get back to Asia, we can bring it back up again. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.